All right, welcome to Social Suplex Live. Jeremy Donovan here, along with Ben Schaefer. And today is Social Suplex birthday.
Yay, happy
Yeah,
birthday, Social Suplex.
yes, we've been around for 1 year and
Con-
plan on going strong for another year.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Hopefully, we can find a way to monetize this thing.
That'd be something.
Yeah, make some cash talking about wrestling. That's the dream, right?
That is, in fact, the dream.
Yes. So, well, let's just get started talking about some wrestling. Let's talk about last week's NXT, last Wednesday on the network. They kicked things off. Bailey opened up the show with a promo talking about the Iron Man match and the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And out comes Alexa Bliss, Blake, and Murphy. So it looks like they're setting up Alexa Bliss as Bailey's next challenger for the Women's Championship. What do you think about a matchup between Alexa Bliss and Bailey?
It's hard to say. We haven't really seen a lot of Alexa Bliss in the ring as she's been managing Blake and Murphy
Yeah,
as for like the last few months. She's had one or two matches. She's shown that she can still execute in the ring. As seen in her match against Carmella, she did pretty well. And in her match against Blue Pants.
yeah.
So she's talented in the ring. Do you feel that there's someone else who should be in front of her, though?
I don't know. I think it all depends on when this women's championship match is going to happen. If they're going to do this championship match on an episode of NXT, the next set of tapings, it might be okay. I don't think they're going to do that match at the takeover in England. So if they're not going to push it off till then, I think it's okay maybe to give Bailey a couple of challengers before that takeover. So I think if that's the case, I think Bliss is a good first challenge for her. Like you said, we haven't seen a whole lot of Alexa Bliss in the ring. She's been mainly managing, but the
And she's
few
been doing a
times
great job of that.
oh yeah. Anytime we can have Alexa Bliss at ringside, I'm down. I think somebody called her like the young Trish Stratus. So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm fine with Bliss just managing, but I think she'll be it'll be a good match, a good challenge. It'll probably main event an NXT TV episode, which I'm fine with. And then just keep throwing some challengers at Bailey, have her build up some defenses, and then have her have some defenses under her belt going into the England takeover. Whoever's going to challenge her there.
I can agree with that. I can see Bliss being like a good kind of warm up match, like not putting her against like a Billie Kay or a Peyton Royce or anything like that. Put her against an actual diva in NXT or a female wrestler in NXT, like Alexa Bliss, who still has some sort of street cred or ring
Yeah,
cred. And I feel like that would be good. I don't see her as like a prime candidate for a takeover though.
no,
So I agree with you there. Kind of annoyed that they killed any kind of steam that Dana Brooke was building up with Asuka, but
yeah.
what
Well,
can
she
you do?
did. Yeah, well, she did lose that match to Asuka, so it kind of makes sense that she's not going to be positioned for a title match just quite yet. So
Mhm.
I'm sure they'll follow up with that storyline the next couple of weeks, or maybe the next set of tapings. I haven't read any spoilers, so I have no idea what's happening at the next 2 weeks of TV. So I'm sure Dana Brooke will be positioned somewhere in there.
Mhm.
So next they had a tag match, Vaudevillains, NXT Tag Champions taking on the team of Angelo Dawkins and Sawyer Fulton. This was a short little match, pretty much made to put over the tag champs, which I thought that
They're still relevant.
yeah, so did a great job of making Gotch and English look strong. And then it looks like they're setting up a breakup between Dawkins and Fulton. Fulton has a kind of a new look. He's not wearing his singlet anymore, has the red in his mohawk. And then that backstage segment that was on YouTube
Mhm.
where they had like a little argument And Dawkins was like, if we don't, or Fulton was like, if we don't start winning, you're gonna find out what I'm gonna do. And Dawkins was like, okay. So yeah, and it seems like on the house shows they've been kind of working separately. So I'm sure that eventually that breakup's gonna show on TV as well. And apparently Dawkins' new thing is cooking. He has this little stirred up taunt thing that he's been doing. He did it on NXT last week, and the house show I went to this past Friday in Tampa. He was doing this thing. We're like, oh, Dawkins, is he cooking? Was that what he's trying to tell us? So Dawkins, I think he's a very talented guy. I think they just need to kind of find his character. I feel like he can get stuck in a Shelton Benjamin area where they're so athletic and they're great in the rings because of their amateur background, but they didn't find the character that gets them over. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to try to develop Dawkins and Fulton after they break them up.
And Fulton's the one with the mohawk, right?
Yeah.
All right. Because, yeah, I didn't pay much attention to them and they're upcoming. Usually, like you said, they're just made to make people look strong.
Yeah.
But I see Fulton's mic work is way better than Angelo Dawkins.
Yeah.
And I can see him getting more of a push because he's kind of already developed as a character, just shown by that segment that, he has a personality. He's not just, something to feed to the wolves.
Yeah. And he's a big dude. He's got some size. Mm-hmm. He's different than all the indie type guys that are coming in there. So he'll kind of stand out if they do decide to give him a singles push. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. That's a good thing about NXT. I mean, there's so many guys there that we haven't seen fully pushed that they can start pushing and it'll create fresh matchups and just keep things fresh there.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of fresh matchups and pushing, next we had the NXT TV debut of Nia Jax. They hyped her up for weeks with vignettes on NXT, and she's been working house shows. We saw her a few months back at a house show. So what were your thoughts on her TV debut?
I liked her better in the house show. I mean, we saw that she can do a mean-ass bear hug on TV, but they really didn't, highlight the fact that she knows how to do more than just bear hug and slam people. She's actually a decent in-ring worker, and I just feel like they didn't really give her a match to highlight that.
Yeah.
It was bear hug, front slam, GG, well played.
Yeah. She definitely could have. I think they're probably just short for time on the episode, and I think she has a match tomorrow night on NXT, but yeah, they can definitely give her a little bit more in-ring time. I was a little confused on where they have her as face or heel. I was kind of assuming she was going to be a heel, but she did a lot of smiling, so I'm wondering if they're going to make her like a badass face that just destroys the smaller girls. I'm not sure where they're going. I would think it would make more sense to build her as a heel and kind of build her as a monster heel to feed to Bayley later on for a big matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm not quite sure what they're going to do there. And I also wasn't a fan of her new attire.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I saw a meme that said that she looked like Aladdin's magic carpet.
I was just thinking that. I did not see that meme. I wish I would have. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for her outfit, but good for her. Glad to see her on TV. Can't wait to see what more she does because like you said, they may have been short on time, but she's actually a good worker. So ready to see her to step up. And I'm kind of confused as to where the whole Divas division is now that they're Sans, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
It just seems kind of in disarray. I mean, they have Dana Brooke, they have Emma, who are both really talented in the ring. Dana Brooke has improved a lot. Emma has always been pretty freaking good, in my opinion. Emma's and that awesome. Ass. Didn't say that on the internet. And then they have Asuka, and now they have Nia Jax, and now they just need to start building something with it. They have the talent, they have the pieces to the puzzle. They just need
Yeah,
to make something happen now.
yeah. I think they're still in the rebuilding stage. They're still figuring out where they want to do and where they want to put people. I think as time goes on, we'll see a little bit closer what they're planning to do. Also, another diva to look out for is Athena. She wrestled on the house show this past Friday. She was in a 6-man tag. She was teaming with Asuka and oh man, I'm escaping who else was on that team. Oh, Carmella. It was Carmella,
Okay.
Asuka, and Athena taking on Emma, um, Peyton Royce, and Cameron. So looks like they're going to put Cameron back in NXT also, and she's gotten a lot better as well.
Has she now?
Yeah, she did pretty good compared to what she has done in the past. And Athena, I've seen clips of her stuff from Shimmer, and she did pretty well. Also, she's a great worker. She's amazing, and she's another one that's gonna blaze a trail when they put her on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they have so many talent there that they can push, and like I said, fresh matchups. Any one of those divas that we've been talking about they can, if, with the right promotion, they can be a worthy contender for Bayley for a title match.
I
So
agree.
yeah. So there's so many ways they can go with the women's division. So that's great that they're keep bringing in women. I mean, the diva that Nia Jax wrestled, Evie, I believe, she's a pretty popular indie wrestler. So I think there's a couple more indie wrestlers that got tryouts in the last set of
Hold on.
tapings.
Can we go back to Evie for like 0.5 seconds? Is
Yeah,
it me or did she look like a scared mime that entire freaking match?
yeah.
Like, go back and watch it, or just watch the highlights on YouTube. She looks like a scared mime.
I think they were just trying to. They probably told her get over the fact that Nia Jax
She's big and scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably what she was just trying to do, trying to oversell, just put Nia Jax over. So it'll be interesting to see if they bring back Evie or these other women that got tryouts and matches at the last set of tapings. And then we have the big main event that they hyped out throughout the show, the Battle Royal. I believe it was 23-guy Battle Royal. Winner determines the number one contender for the NXT Championship. And I think going into this match, everybody pretty much thought that it was Samoa Joe that was going to win. I thought Samoa Joe was going to win
Yeah.
the Battle Royal. And then once Joe got eliminated, I was like, oh, Baron Corbin's going to win. And we're going to.
I was sitting there watching. I'm like, please not Baron Corbin. Please, please no, not right now. And then Apollo Crews pulls it out. Pulls out the win. Now, and that's another for me, is because Cruz has only been in there 2 months, and there's a lot of people who've been there longer that have kind of like worked their way up and kind of earned a spot. Not saying that Cruz didn't. He's obviously very talented in the ring, obviously a great worker, obviously Uha Nation, and totally badass.
Yeah, so you think it's too soon for him to be in the number one contender spot?
I'm kind of wondering if it's like a Roman Reigns deal.
Yeah.
Like, fans are going to boo him if he gets, pushed too hard.
Yeah. And that's something they're going to have to worry about. And it's going to be interesting to see when they plan on having this title match, if it's going to be on NXT, a regular episode, if it's going to be on a takeover, how they're going to push this match. Because right now it's going to be a face versus face matchup. So that's going to be interesting to see who the crowd really gets behind and what they're planning here. If they're going to keep it face versus face, or are they going to plan a Finn heel turn, which I really don't see them doing with all the merchandise sales they're doing off his shirts and his mask and all that stuff like that.
Right,
and everybody loves that guy. But then at the same time, I really don't see them turning Cruz heel either. I don't know.
Maybe it's kind of like the same thing with forgetting her name, little sparkly girl.
Bliss.
Maybe it's the same thing they're doing, like kind of like a Bliss Bayley thing. Maybe they're just like gearing Cruz up to give Finn a little extra push before they move him over to the main roster.
Yeah, that's true. And back on Baron Corbin. I gotta say this: Baron Corbin he's getting better, and he is drawing so much heat. I think he has the perfect character of being this guy who thinks he's better than all these indie guys that are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny at the house show that we were at, we were chanting "Baron draws money," and we would say that would be hilarious if we started cutting in his promos that everybody paid money to see Baron Corbin.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I think it's different. It's good to have a guy. I mean, I love all the indie wrestlers that are coming in, but it's always great to have a different style and somebody like Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I agree. And he has improved. It's Baron Corbin, man.
I know, but I don't know. I'm interested in a Baron Corbin Finn Balor matchup.
I can see that.
I think that'll. I mean, I know they've done it on house shows, but I think given time on a takeover, it could be really good.
Mm-hmm. And all right, I will give Baron Corbin a little bit of credit in the Dusty Tag Team Classic. He really pulled his weight, and I got to tip my hat to him. He's getting better.
Yeah.
He's more than just an end of days guy now.
Yeah, and kind of the big question at the end of this episode of NXT was what's the kind of the developing story between Samoa Joe and Tyler Breeze. Breeze has caused Joe to get eliminated after Breeze was already eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I found it interesting that the NXT audience was more behind Breeze than they were for Joe.
Well, Breeze has been in NXT for like 3 or 4 years now, so.
But it's Samoa Joe.
True. True.
So I found that interesting. I wonder if they're gonna try maybe end up doing a double turn there, or what they're planning on doing. I know there's been also rumors of Tyler Breeze making his debut on the main roster soon. He might even be at tonight. I know he was backstage on Raw last night. They didn't use him, and then apparently he's backstage at SmackDown tonight, and they might use him tonight. Looks like we got a viewer that's contributing to the conversation. Docam2 says Baron Corbin has really grown on me too since his match with Samoa Joe and Takeover Brooklyn. Joe will flip it soon and go heels anyways. And I can see that happening. I'm a big fan of Joe. I like his heel work. I think he does really great as a heel. I think he can go both ways, but I think his style, he's so vicious. I think that he can be heel. And if they do want to do a double turn with Joe going heel and Breeze going face, that could be an interesting dynamic, depending on how long they want to keep Tyler Breeze down there. If they're going to keep him in both places, and when exactly his main roster debut is going to be.
For all we know, it could be this Thursday on SmackDown.
That's right. So that pretty much wraps up last week's episode of NXT. Oh, well, this is going to happen on tomorrow's NXT, but I do want to talk about this. Is James Storm is going to be on tomorrow night's episode of NXT.
That's exciting.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Cowboy James Storm. I watch a lot of TNA, pretty much the early run. I really haven't watched an episode of Impact in quite a while, but big fan of James Storm. That's another interesting addition to the roster there that they can plug in a main event for NXT Takeover.
But at the same point, it's really weird now because now James Storm is the second TNA guy that's come over in recent months.
Well, I think the thing with Triple H is he's kind of getting rid of that frame of mind that they've had in the past where we're not looking at anybody from anywhere else. If they don't come through our system, then they're not good. So, we see them on NXT acknowledge wrestlers past. So Triple H, he's looking at the talent of the wrestler. He doesn't care if they come from TNA, Ring of Honor, Evolve, whatever. If they can work and it can be an asset to NXT, Triple H is bringing them in.
Yep, talent is talent is talent.
And that's great. And that gives me hope that maybe AJ Styles could pop up in NXT when his New Japan deal is done.
We can only cross our fingers and hope for that one because I would love to see some Styles Clash action going on.
Yeah, and I hope that Bobby Roode can come over too. Maybe we get a Bear Money reunion. I think Bear Money versus Dawson and Wilder would be an amazing tag match.
I think so too. That would be pretty much a brawl.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with James Storm. James Storm's also kind of in a weird position because TNA taped a whole bunch of TV in the summer and
Hmm.
are just now airing it, and they're doing this world title tournament thing. So he's in this world title tournament and he's going to be on NXT at the same time. So it's kind of weird. And he's like, I had no idea that they were doing this world title tournament and what they were doing with the tapings. So it's going to be one of those situations where he's going to be on TNA TV and NXT at the same time.
Interesting.
So we'll see how that works out. And then, did you see any of the video from Sami Zayn's appearance at Evolve this past weekend?
No, I did not. Did you?
I saw like a clip of one of his speeches, and I kind of read the lowdown of what he did there.
Hmm.
He was there for live audience only, and kind of interacted with Johnny Gargano and Ethan Page and Timothy Thatcher. So looks like this working relationship with NXT and Evolve is growing. They're going to start exchanging a little bit more talent. We're going to see some Evolve guys coming over. Maybe there might be more NXT guys going over there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that relationship develops. Maybe we could even see an Evolve title match on an NXT TakeOver show.
I believe we talked about that last week, and
Yeah, that would be pretty cool to see.
that would be really cool. I'd like to see that a lot.
All right, let's shift gears, talk about the main roster for a little bit. Hell in a Cell.
That's the thing.
Hell in a Cell is coming up Sunday. What out of all the matches announced so far, what match do you think is going to be the one that steals the show?
Seth Rollins versus Demon Kane.
Really?
Really? I think so. Because they've built the stipulation where, well, I mean, I kind of see where this is going. Where either Corporate Kane loses his job as the COO, and then we only have Demon Kane,
Yeah.
which I'm still a huge fan of Demon Kane. I don't give a fuck what the rest of the wrestling community says. Demon Kane is a damn good worker, and I always like watching him. So, yeah. And but that could be a thing, or we could have the flip side where Demon Kane is the world champion, and Corporate Kane is still the COO, and I'm just kind of interested to see how that would work out or how that plays out. Domkin 2 says the only version of Kane I like is Demon Kane. I agree. Corporate Kane is kind of a joke. But
And I don't get me wrong, I love Demon Kane too, but I kind of want to see. I don't really expect Kane to win the title match. I think Rollins will win and move on to something else, and then Kane will be fired from Director of Operations, and then maybe just keep him in the Demon Kane role, and maybe he becomes a thorn in the side of the Authority and has a lower level feud, not the world title feud, because Rollins really needs a big match, a big fresh matchup to really turn his title reign around. I think the match that's going to steal the show is the John Cena U.S. Open Challenge, because I mean it can really literally be anybody at this point. It's a mystery who's going to answer it. It could be Tyler Breeze. It could be Samoa Joe. It could be Dolph Ziggler again. It could be Kofi Kingston. I mean, there are so many possibilities of where it can go. And
well,
I think,
let's stick to that for a second. What if it is Tyler Breeze, and we know that John Cena is leaving wrestling TV for a while?
Yeah.
What if it's Tyler Breeze?
All right, Dom Cannon 2 says, who do you think will answer? It'll have to be someone who'll go over Cena. And I mean, if they want to bring Breeze up and push him, that'd be a great way to bring him in, have him answer the challenge, and beat Cena. Can I see Breeze beating Cena? I don't know.
I don't know. But I mean, I don't know.
Kofi Kingston's another great option because the New Day has been trying to get the U.S. Championship from Cena. Big E's challenge, Xavier Woods challenge. Kofi's the only one who has not challenged yet. And if Kofi challenged Cena, they could always do the combo of Big E and Xavier for the title match against the Dudleys.
But in that YouTube segment with the Dudleys, they said they eliminated Xavier Woods from the equation.
That's true. So I guess it depends if everyone's going to come rolling out on crutches on Sunday to sell the table bump from last night on Raw. Then maybe they don't do Kofi in the title match. And then another option, I mentioned Dolph Ziggler. There's this whole real life drama with Ziggler trying to get back with Nikki Bella. And obviously Nikki Bella's dating John Cena. So, and we kind of saw a slight hint of what could be a heel turn when Ziggler wrestled Cena a couple weeks ago, raking the eyes. The only thing that makes me think it's not going to be Ziggler is the fact that Ziggler's now in a pre-show match, because they dropped the pre-show match of Harper and Strowman against Ambrose and Orton, and now the pre-show match is a rematch of the six-man tag from last night, Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville against Rusev, Sheamus, and Wade Barrett.
All right, so any combination of those six wrestlers is really tired for me right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand it. I don't see how that's a thing. Like, I don't get it. I'm trying to look for ways that could be a thing. But, like, the good guys always look strong, and then it's a cheap shot from one of the heels. Yeah. I don't get it.
And I gotta say, I do like the combination of Rusev, Sheamus, and Barrett. It's kind of like this foreign super team. So I just feel like with Sheamus, he's Mr. Money in the Bank. He should be in some other program that's helping build him up to make us believe that he can be a contender for the championship and can have a championship run. Because right now,
and an adequate champion, because we don't have one.
I don't buy Sheamus winning the championship anytime soon, and he's gonna have to, especially he's wrestling on the pre-show.
Or he can cash in and lose it.
Yeah, he can pull Damian Sandow. So yeah. We'll see. I mean, he could cash in during the Seth Rollins Kane match or after that match.
That's what I was thinking. What if Kane wins that match and then Sheamus cashes in?
That's a possibility. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm kind of confused with what they're doing with all six of those guys. And pretty much Rusev kind of screwed things up for him, and now having his real life engagement being published on TMZ, that totally just threw a monkey wrench in the whole storyline they were doing there.
Yep.
And Doc Cantu,
how does that even get pushed or published?
I don't know. So they had to have reached out to TMZ themselves and did that. Yeah, it's weird, but I don't know. We'll see what they do with Rusev. Doc Cantu says that a returning Sami Zayn could be a potential challenger for Cena.
And I think that's my favorite U.S. Open Challenge match so far. It was Cena versus Zayn. And
Zayn did get hurt in that last match of Cena, so that could be a great match if Zayn is 100% healthy and ready to go. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think they said December more like this when he was going to be ready. So I'm not. Who knows? Who knows if he's going to be ready or not?
I'm saying is I got my Sami Zayn beard growing out.
If he's not ready for here, I think Royal Rumble, hold him off till Rumble, and have him come out and do him and Owens interact with each other in the Rumble. I think that would be great and set up a WrestleMania match for those guys.
Because, God, that would be a fantastic match. Like, we've already seen it. And Ring of Honor and everywhere else they've been. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the ring together is money, and it is magic, and it is all things good in the world.
Intercontinental title match, Owens versus Sami Zayn. Book it.
Yes.
Triple H, Vince, book it right now. Pencil it in. You're doing Owens versus Zayn at WrestleMania 32. IC title, you're going to give them like 15 minutes, and it's not going to be on the pre-show.
It's not going to be on the pre-show, and let Owens do a package pile driver, please. I mean, that'll never happen, but...
And one other thing I want to talk about from Raw last night was the disappearance of Luke Harper. And now he's replaced with Eric Rowan. And it was kind of like the most anticlimactic return of Eric Rowan ever. I mean, any return ever. I mean, Bray, you hear the music, shows up, and then he's there with Rowan. And we're supposed to be like, okay, Rowan's there. Where's Harper? And apparently Harper was away attacking Randy Orton so that the pre-show match wouldn't happen. So I don't know what's
Okay.
going on. I'm I've been reading that apparently Harper's away on personal reasons, so I hope everything's okay. But I think the main event was supposed to be Harper in there, not
And not Rowan.
Strowman. No, not Strowman.
Not Strowman. Okay.
Yeah, because did you watch Raw last night? Did you see that?
I saw the highlights. I was out. I'm
Uh,
usually not home on Monday nights, so I don't get to watch Raw.
well, the main event was Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns
Hmm.
against Bray, Rowan, and Strowman.
Yeah, I saw the highlights from that. I saw
Yeah,
Rollins leave.
yeah, yeah.
Good
So
for him.
if Harper
Good.
was there, I think they would have just done the original Shield versus original Wyatt family 6-man tag, and Harper would have been in there. So at first, when Harper was gone, I thought he got in trouble for the Harper Club picture that's been going around the internet. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, I have to look it up. I think it's in the Wrestling Squared Circle Facebook group too. The Harper fan club. It's like Jericho, Bray, Harper, Cesaro, Primo, Epico, and a couple other guys. They're all wearing custom made Luke Harper shirts and like all posing
Oh my
and
god.
smiling. And it's like, it was posted on Jericho's Instagram originally, and he was like the charter members of the Luke Harper fan club. And then a few minutes later, he deleted that post, but the picture's been circulating all around Facebook and Twitter of the Harper fan club. But I'm glad to hear that apparently that's not the reason he's gone. He's gone for personal reasons. So I'm hoping it's personal reasons, and they really didn't want to punish him for the Harper fan club picture, because we all know
Yeah.
kayfabe is dead. And it's a funny picture. Luke Harper should have merchandise. I would buy that shirt they were wearing. I love Luke
That's true. He
Harper.
doesn't have any merchandise.
I love Luke Harper better than I love Bray Wyatt.
Can they just sell like dirty, beat up wife beaters? I'd buy one.
Get your dirty Luke Harper wife beater. Oh man! Every time I see the dirty wife beater, I think about Billy Kidman back in the day in WCW when he was part of the Flock, and he was like, his whole gimmick was like he didn't like take a bath or something, and he was like always itchy and wearing like dirty holy shirts.
Can we just never say the combination of Billy and Kidman next to each other ever? I don't care if it's
Well,
Kidman Billy. I don't care if it's Billy Kidman. Can we just not say that?
we're
He
talk-
ruined the shooting star press.
well, uh, well, he's the first one to really get it over in the U.S., but there are guys that come after him that have done it way better, like Matt Seidel, aka Evan Bourne.
Hmm.
His is just a thing of beauty.
And Adrian Neville even has he has the red arrow, but he still has a fantastic shooting star press.
Yeah.
And Ricochet and everyone else who does it better. Like I think he's the only person who's ever botched. Well, no, only person who professionally botched it that bad.
Well,
Like
Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania
even
19.
even that wasn't that bad. Like
He almost
Billy
broke his
Kidman
neck.
he got caught, Billy Kidman hung himself on the fucking top rope.
Oh man. All right, before we get out of here, did you see any highlights or watch the Austin podcast with Brock
No,
Lesnar?
no, I didn't.
Okay, well, I
Are they
mean,
gonna beat each other up yet? I want to see that.
well, after watching that, I thought like it was like it left us with nothing. Like after watching that, I'm like, okay, they want us to think there's no plans for Austin and Lesnar. They were all buddy having great conversation, talking about grilling and hunting and
Wait,
what kind of
Brock Lesnar's a human being? Or is he talking about like chasing down a deer and tearing it apart with his bare hands?
no, they're talking about regular hunting and grilling, how he likes to grill ribeye steaks and
Now, when he says grilling, does he just like build an open fire and throw the meat on there, or does he use
yeah,
like tongs and wear a chef hat?
I don't know. It was kind of weird. I just didn't get it. Like I was
So what we
expecting
got from this podcast is that Brock Lesnar is a human being.
pretty much, but he
I don't believe it. I don't
did
believe
say
it.
how much he hates people and how much he hates being around people. That was
Okay,
pretty funny. Towards
that makes
the end
sense.
of the podcast, I started talking a little bit more about like wrestling and his career and stuff like that. That was a little bit interesting, but there was no tension at all from when Austin was talking smack with Heyman. No
Mhm.
talk of a possible WrestleMania 32 match or anything. So I think pretty much their goal was to make us think that nothing's going to happen so that we can be surprised if something does happen.
I hope so because man, a Brock Lesnar Stone Cold match, I'd buy it. I'd pay $49.99 for that month of the WWE Network just to see Austin in action again.
Good thing we don't. We only have to pay
$9.99.
$9.99. Yeah, I mean, if they want
Seriously,
to
can we get a?
sell,
Go ahead.
no, if they want to sell out 100,000 seats in Dallas, WrestleMania 32, Austin versus Lesnar
That's the way to do it.
is a main event that can do that.
Yes, I agree. You know what?
So
And if the WWE wants to sponsor us and pay us that money so we can promote the WWE Network for only $9.99, I feel like we could do it.
yeah, Vince, give me a call. CTC, cut the check to Jeremy Donovan, Ben Schaefer. We'll promote the network for you. Well, this has been
Since we
another.
all know that your house is tapped.
Yeah. Oh, this has been another episode of Social Suplex Live. You can follow us on socialsuplex.com. We've got all kind of columns, news articles. You can see past Social Suplex Live and be on the lookout for new ones. Look out for One Nation Radio wrestling podcast done by Rich Latta and James Boyd. Check out the column that's up right now featuring our best columns of the last year. We've been around for a year now.
I was just about to bring that up. Like you said, it's your 1 year anniversary. You posted that article earlier. Some of my favorite pieces are on that list, so definitely go check that out.
And also later this week, I'm going to be posting I got some exclusive photos from the NXT Tampa house show from JP Visuals that I'm going to be posting. I know Rich is working on a good piece on the New Day. So there's a lot of interesting columns coming out, podcasts, videos. The best way to stay in tune with us, you can subscribe on socialsuplex.com. You get an email to your inbox every time there's a new post. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and just keep in the know. Look out for us if you're in the Florida area. We're planning on continuing going to more house shows for NXT, Evolve, or whenever WWE comes around or any other indie stuff. So be on the lookout for us in public. And just keep checking us out. And thanks for keeping our site growing. So until next time, we'll see you.